Yo, welcome to our first episode of The Hype. I know it looks too much like Texas Underground. We're eventually going to get rid of all this. Shouts out to La Conecta, though. But, we're eventually going to get rid of this, change the backgrounds and whatnot. But you're watching The Hype. It's your boy, JVaz.
And your boy, David of Them Damn Mexicans and TDM Talk.
And as we mentioned previously, we're going to talk about some everyday conversations. Just different topics that we see every day. We'll talk about your favorite movies that are currently out and whatnot. And what else we're going to talk about, David?
Man, world hunger, bro.
I'm
hungry right now.
I'm hungry right now. I ate some
swatting the flies right
swatting
now.
the flies. Before I came, I'm on keto. So I ate some Pizza Hut wings because that's still keto, but them wings go hard. Now, hold on.
Yeah, I was about to say, explain that.
Let me explain why I feel like those wings go hard. I live in Hempstead, small town, where my options are Pizza Hut wings, anything McDonald's. We have 2 McDonald's. We have
can't go wrong with the
Taco Bell, and we have Sonic, and a Jack in the Box.
Okay.
And a lot of little Mexican, trucks, but none of them are keto, so I have to. Again, most of the food is not good. But speaking of world hunger, though, I wanted to talk about this. I feel like a piece of shit when I go into a restaurant or anywhere and it says, would you like to donate $5 for the hungry? And I'm like, no. Yeah. And then your bucket of chicken is ready and you get a big-ass bucket. Mm-hmm. I feel like a piece of shit. But I feel like they're the biggest piece of shit because Walmart should have enough money to feed the hungry. You know what I mean?
I'm sure they got enough food. Even restaurants, you go to restaurants, they probably throw away more food than they do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I know I know schools used to throw away the food.
Yeah.
Like if you weren't registered, they wouldn't even give you free food. They'd rather throw it away.
I just went to my son and my daughter Thanksgiving. They have the Thanksgiving luncheon thing. And I saw mad people throwing just whole plates away of just turkey and that stuffing really wasn't all that, but it's like damn, it kind of sucked that I saw a lot of food just being wasted, and we're really wasteful in America, bro.
We really are.
Houston, Texas specifically. I'm gonna say that because I ain't been all over the world.
So we just got done with the holidays.
Yep.
How was the holidays for you, bro?
It was good, man. I was just wanting, kind of ready to get it over. I'm the type that I'm ready to get it over with and bring on the new year. I guess sometimes I gotta slow down a little bit because I'm always wanting for the next thing, with everything that I've got going on or we've got going on too. So, but it was good, man. Spend time with the family and just got to hang out and not have to go to events, and things like that. So it was cool.
Fuck these events.
Fuck these events. I gotta pay now.
I'm starting to see a lot of people post how they don't, the Christmas just don't feel the same or these holidays don't feel the same. And it's something I wanted to talk about, and I wish we would have had a guest just to get a little different perspective. But I feel like, and again, this is my opinion, I feel like when people post that, we have made the holidays, I feel like people don't feel the same about holidays no more because they're usually stressed out.
Yeah.
Stressed out about not having the money to buy the gifts, not having to be able to buy the PlayStation for their kids. Yeah. And I said this the other day on Facebook. I was like, the problem with the holidays nowadays is we made it all about the gifts.
Yeah.
We don't appreciate the time with family no more. It's more of what am I going to get and what am I going to be able to give?
We're too busy trying to concentrate on wowing our kids with what we buy them as opposed to giving them time and energy that they need. I saw a quote a couple years back, but it came up on my Facebook recently. I think Chris Rock said it. He was like, Jesus was like the most unmaterialistic man that's ever lived, yet we made his, quote unquote birthday the most materialistic holiday ever.
That there is.
And that's crazy because that's true because I've had those years where I'm like, damn, man, what do I got?
Yeah.
I remember growing up, all I wanted was like a Ninja Turtle or a He-Man toy. Now they want, my youngest boy, he's 6, he's talking about, I want a Nintendo Switch. I said, boy, you don't get the hell out. Boy,
get the hell out. And, and just a quick little, growing up, I was a spoiled kid. My dad always bought me everything I wanted. Everything that was on my Christmas gift list, I usually got. And the coolest memory I have of Christmas with my dad was the last Christmas we spent together with, obviously I didn't know it was going to be the last Christmas. And I think that makes that moment special.
Yeah.
Where he sat down in the living room, 12 o'clock came out, we were all doing our exchange, gift exchange. And then he bought like toys for my nephews, which was his grandkids. And I think the coolest memory I have is that when we sat in the living room, I sat next to him. And I remember I just kind of laid my head on. I was tired as hell for some reason. I just kind of laid there, and then he hugged me, and to me that's the biggest memory we have. The coolest memory I have with him, even though I had a lot of cool memories with the toys he bought me, with the gifts he used to give me. Those were cool, but just to show how unimportant material items are, all those toys that he bought me, I don't even remember the experience of opening them and being excited. I remember that the last Christmas we spent together, that moment we had together. And again, I think when people post that, it don't feel the same. Like, we need to stop focusing on the gifts and focus more on being together with the family. As a kid, I used to be excited about going to the valley and spending it with my cousins. Yeah. That made it cool, not even the gifts. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of people, when they post that too, is they lost someone around the holidays. So it's like, damn, the holidays suck, because I remember losing, my dad passed December 8th. My brother-in-law passed November 7th. And then my dad's birthday is like November 27th. And my brother-in-law's birthday is December 4th. So that November to December is kind of like, damn, like, we're constantly remembering. But I always say this: if you had a good memories with people you lost, man, it's sad because you missed them. But, like you said, you remember the good times. You always remember the last. I've been guilty of constantly chasing the bag. I was going to work on holidays because it was holiday pay, holiday time. I regret it because I was like, man, my kids were like, why aren't you home, or why aren't you here with us? And I'm like, I can't get that back because I already did, that already happened. So now moving forward, it's like, I want to make a conscious effort to actually be there physically. It doesn't matter the gift or whatever,
See, and I think that what you just said plays a big role on what I spoke about, wanting to get away from media. Yeah. Because, again, being focused on chasing the bag. Yeah. We understand that creating content, you have to stay busy to stay relevant. Yeah. And anytime I have time to come record, I come out here. I mean, just the hour here is an hour, and then an hour to get back. So that's 2 hours. And I always, in my head, I'm like, I got to make it worth the drive. So let me book 3 or 4 things. So you add another 4 hours on top of that. So 6 hours on my time off, I spend it here. Yeah. And then in my head, I'm like, I could have spent those days. Like last Sunday, I didn't even finish watching football. I told my mom, I said, hey, you want to go your last minute's Christmas shopping? Because nobody really helps me with my mom, like as far as take her shopping. My brother doesn't try to take her out. My sisters don't take her out. So I'm the one that has to do that. And I always be like, hey, let's go shopping. You gonna buy things? I'm not, but do you want to? She's like, yeah. So I just took her to buy shit for my nephews and nieces and shit. And I'm wanting to spend more time with my family. Yeah. And I know how much time this takes away from that. You know what I mean? And again, in order to stay relevant nowadays, you have to invest that much time. So I have to make a decision whether I continue to do this and continue to have limited time with my family, or focus more on my actual life and spend less time doing this.
Yeah, finding the balance is probably the hardest thing to do, because 2023, I was outside the house most of the time, whether it was traveling to other cities to do interviews, going on your, quote unquote press run or promo run that I was doing at the time to promote the talk show, to promote the brand that I was doing. Going to events, doing my own events, all that, planning meetings, a lot of times, even some of those things be like, damn, bro, that was a waste of time. Like, I could have really been at the crib chilling, and instead I done came all, I done did this, or I came to this event and it sucks, Shout out to you guys. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so I already said that in this year, 2024, that I was going to make a better decision on where I go and where I don't go. Yeah. As much as I got love for everybody, so none of y'all take this the wrong way, but if it's not beneficial to me or my brand, I'm really not just popping out just anywhere out of love. Like I've done that. I think I've shown enough love, if anything. Yeah. Because we said that in our interview. We're like, man, you've been at every event pretty much, and I feel like I missed quite a few, but at the end of the day, man, our time is something we can't get back. That's something that's we lose that. We can't. We can't. We
Ain't no
don't
way
get
to
that
get it back. Yeah, you
Uh-huh.
can't get it back at all.
Mhm.
Speaking of family and whatnot, so I started working at T-Mobile, and I'm starting to see something that really bothers me. It
The bill?
no, my bill.
Oh yeah,
Bro, my bill was $45 for 5 lines,
I might need to get a job.
75% discount, player ass discount, bro.
That is.
But I say what's been bugging me. Again, I'm very helpful with my parents. Like I always try to keep my mom up to date. Like she currently has the iPhone 15. She obviously doesn't use it for everything.
We
You
would
can use it.
Yeah.
But I like to keep her brain up to date because I don't want her to be like, oh, I'm too old for that.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You know how to work the iPhone 15.
Yeah.
You know how to turn on a TV, mom. Like, relax. So why I say that is because working at T-Mobile, it's just sad when you have these old people walking in there. Old people are my weakness, by the way, working at any retail place because in my head I'm like, I have to treat them the way I want somebody to treat my mom if I'm not around.
Yeah.
And this lady goes in there and she's like, I'm trying to pay my bill. And I'm like, okay, well, shit, let's get you in here. And she's like, well, I don't remember my password. Well, let me reset it for you. So I reset her password. She's like, well, since you did that, can you help me with my watch? And I'm like, what's wrong with your watch? She's like, well, I can't put the band on it. So I'm like, oh, let me see. I'll help you. I'll put it together for you. She gives me her watch and I'm like, well, you're not going to be able to put the band on it because this is a Galaxy watch and the band is for an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
It's not going to fit. She's like, well, I ordered it on Amazon. I was like, okay, well, you're going to have to send it back. And then she's like, well, I don't know how to do that. I was like, well, you know where the UPS store is? She said, yes. I said, well, let me see your phone. I'll do a return for you. And then you just take it, get it scanned. They send it back and they, order a new one. Could you order the new one for me? And I'm starting to get frustrated. Like, bitch, this is not, I get paid commission. This is not paying me anything.
Nothing.
But I'm like, it's an older person. She don't mean no harm. She's really, she needs the help.
She needs the help.
So I do that for her. And then she's like, well, since you're being so nice to me, and I'm like, nah, please relax. She's like, since you're being so nice to me, can you help me log into my bill account so I can pay my electric bill?
Wow.
I said, I can't do that. I'm like, but I'm sure you can just go to their app. She's like, well, I don't know my password. Can you reset that one like you did the T-Mobile one? And I clocked out. I was like, nope, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I said, no, ma'am, you have to go in person. I'm like, go up to the city. Let them know you can't figure out your password and they'll be able to help you. Okay. So I say all this long story to say, don't these people have kids or grandkids or nephews and nieces that could help them?
Yeah.
And that shit bothers me because I'm like, bro, I don't want my mom. Well, if I can help her, I don't want my mom being out there being like these old ladies that can't figure shit out because of their age more than anything. But it's sad that they don't have somebody to help them.
Yeah.
And that's...
it's crazy because I'm sure there's a gang of them out there like I'm sure she has several people that can help her. They just don't.
Yeah.
And that'd be the sad part. Like, damn, bro. Like, and it makes you wonder where that disconnect happened. Like, man, how do you just say, well, the hell with my mom,
Yeah.
I think too, man, people nowadays, again, we go back to the chasing the bag thing. We get so caught up in the lifestyle and living life the wrong way. They're busy with whatever it is they're doing, but man, you got to think when she passes, then you'll be like, damn, I'm a regret. Like, I should have been there for her,
Should have spent more time.
Spend more time with that person. So, yeah, man, it's sad, man. I'm glad, me having lost a parent, I lost my dad 10 years ago. Every day we're like, damn, we wish he was still here. Like, it's crazy. So thank God right now, my mother is all we have right now because I've lost all my grandparents. And,
does that change your perspective on the way you treat your mom?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I definitely cherish her way more than probably I ever did it before in the past, because I think we take for granted that we think we have time.
Yeah.
And we really don't, because time just moves so fast. Especially when you're moving fast, time moves fast, and we're not afforded that luxury of having all the time in the world, because right at this point, people are living to be 60, 70 years old, maybe
It's
tops.
getting shorter and shorter.
The life expectancy is shorter and shorter. I think my dad was 65 when he passed. My brother-in-law was only 35, 36 when he passed. Like, bro, he didn't even get to see his kids graduate high school. I
Yeah.
remember when my dad passed, one thing he said, he's like, well, at least I got to see you guys grow up. And
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
That's my dad used to say that. Like, now whenever it's my time to go, at least you guys are adults now.
Yeah. I say the same now. I have two little ones. My oldest, he's 20. I have a 14-year-old and then 8 and 6. I'm like, man, Lord, let me at least live to at least see them graduate and live their life. And then, hey, man, if it's your will to call me home,
yeah,
cool.
Man, to piggyback on what you said, the having time thing, the day before my dad passed, 2 days before my dad passed, on Friday evening, we were in the living room and he was like, hey, you want an orange? Random as fuck.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I'm good. He's like, you sure? I'll peel it for you. And in my head, I was like, I guess that, like, whatever, give me an orange, fuck it. So I was like, yeah, I'll take the orange. So he peeled it for me, he gave it to me. And then he kissed my forehead, and I got the tattoo of his last words. I'm not gonna say the last words. I get emotional and shit. But and then
emotional.
You know what I'm saying? And then he was he kissed my forehead, and he was like, I'm gonna go upstairs all night. In my head, I was like, okay, go upstairs. Like, let me watch the game, whatever.
Yeah.
Little did I know that was the last time we were gonna have any kind of interaction, because the next day he could barely talk, and then Sunday morning he passed away. So it goes. Well, I asked you if that changes your perspective with your mom, because it changed the perspective with my mom. To me, it's like every time I leave the house, I'll text my mom, I'm leaving. Wherever I make it to, like when I pulled up here, I'll text her, hey, I made it, because I know it calms her down to know that I'm okay. I mean, my brothers, my sister, everybody calls her and tell her, hey, how you doing? Every day they call her. So I try to do the same thing. No matter how busy I think I am, I was like, I know if I text her, it makes her day, and it makes her feel a lot more calm. And any opportunity I get, like, I'll go give her a hug, tell her how much I love her. Because I feel, before my dad passed, one of the things I wanted to do in the back of my head, I was always like, I want to be able to tell my dad, and I would tell myself, I want to tell my dad how much I appreciate everything he's done for me and my brothers. And that thought was in my head from like November. I wanted to tell him on his birthday. His birthday was November 5th. I didn't tell him anything. And then I was like, I'll eventually tell him, I want it to be like a meaningful date when I let him know how much I love everything he's done for us.
Yeah.
The date never came. And I never got to tell him how much I appreciated him, how much I loved him. So now I do it with my mom every time I get the opportunity. Like, hey, thank you. I love you. Thank you for everything you do for me, blah, blah, blah. But we got kind of dark. Let's what you got for us, David?
Man,
what you got for us?
Look, I was gonna kind of dwell on that some more, but I was like, man, you know what? We're going down a slippery slope right here, man. We're gonna have people, reaching out. I'm already getting a little.
Are you guys okay?
A little emotional. Like, we're gonna get a lot of comments like, hey, man, you guys. One last thing on that before. Matter of fact, today I had a friend, Lisa, that I used to coach her son when he was younger. We just won the Broadcast Houston Best Talk Show of the year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, thank you. She sent me it was like a meme, and it said, your dad's cheering you on from heaven. Like, that came out of nowhere, because I was kind of like, I was just reading my message this morning. The awards was Saturday, so we're, so anyways, almost a week later.
About a week later, yeah.
And, I was kind of like, wow, like, it just tripped me out, because sometimes I think, man, I wish he could see what I'm doing now, because at the time when he passed, I really wasn't doing, I had a good job, good paying job, good benefits, but nothing like what I'm doing now, and then, so, it just goes back to trying to be involved. My mom's really supportive of what I do. She loves what I do. So, I want a hat. Anytime I drop merch, she's like, I want this. Like, here you go, Mom.
She out there sporting it?
Yeah, she's over there rocking it, so,
that's out to Mom.
Yeah, that's dope, man. So, yeah, shouts out to moms everywhere,
the
man.
damn Mexican mom. That sounds funny. The damn Mexican mom. I got to make her a shirt. This is the damn Mexican mom.
She'll get her own custom shirt. She'll love that shit, man. But,
yeah, it's I guess just to wrap it up on that, my dad got to see all of us grow, and one of the things that also made me happy was he went the way he wanted to. Mm-hmm. And in his head, I had just told my dad I was going to get married. I wanted to get married. And, we're very traditional Mexicans. Yeah. And I told him, I said, hey, whenever you get a chance, we need to plan this out so you can go talk to her dad. Because my ex-girlfriend, fucked up. I guess that, let me break it out to y'all. It didn't happen. My ex-girlfriend's dad was never really that big on me, right?
Yeah.
But me and her had been talking about marriage and all that crap. All that crap. I say that now. And so I had told my dad in December. It was around this time actually. Okay. You know, he passed away January 17th. So the last couple of weeks before he passed, in his head was like the last. He would always tell my mom, like, now that he wants to get married, we don't have to stay in town. They lived Belleville. They're like, and you know, we can just travel and spend, you know, a couple of months in one of their house, another month in another house, and just he had it all planned out. Yeah. So at least when he passed away, in his head, I was about to get married, live. You know, my podcast was taking off. Everything was perfect. It didn't happen. You know what I mean? Things didn't work out at the end, but at least
in his mind,
he thought, you know, like, hey, I'm about to leave, but at least, you know, he found happiness, blah, blah, blah. Not saying I'm not happy, just not with that person.
Tell us how you really feel. No, I'm just bless you, man. Thank you. You know, I'm just excited about the new year, the new ventures, the new, you know, the especially this show, man. You know, being able to have these conversations, man. That I guess is just like, this is something we could talk about off camera as well as on camera. Like, we're not here putting on like some kind of show and like, oh, we're acting or we're embellishing details about our life. Like, no, this is just real life issues, real life conversations. So I'm really excited about that, just diving into that thing. And you know, hopefully the general public that does watch will get involved and kind of chime in, because it's always good to have that different perspective from somebody else's eyes, you know?
Speaking of the new year, do you have any New Year resolutions yourself?
New Year resolutions, yeah. I mean, really just continuing to grow. I'm going into year 4 of where I actually put my all into the brand, and actually, you know, where I actually invested some money, invested my time, my energy into it, really, and I've really gone nonstop for 3 years. So going into year 4, I'm looking forward to continuing to build our platform, continuing with the talk show, with the, you know, with the hype, with the clothing line. I mean, just so much more traveling, and continuing to just do what we've been doing, just taking it up. I always say a notch, but my boy KT has Sneak Apparel. He always says, "Nah, fuck that, bro. We hitting home runs this year. You know, we got to hit a home run every time." I said, "All right, bro." So I want to continue hitting home runs, but on a bigger scale. You know, just really in that aspect, man, because we definitely got I guess you can say a movement, so to speak. The people are very supportive. We had a very successful toy drive. We're gonna. That's another resolution that I have, is wanting to do more in the community, more community work, not just have the toy drive once a year, which anybody can do that. But we want to be more active and be more involved. So you know, we're looking for things like that. You know, eventually maybe start a nonprofit division of them damn Mexicans, and where we are continuously throughout the year helping people in need, and that type of thing. Even if it's just the from the mental aspect, man, just being able to talk to people and help them out and ease some of that tension, because man, times are rough, man. You know, we talked about that movie that Obama and them, The End of the World. What is it called?
I don't know what it's called, but I've been wanting to watch it.
Leave the World Behind.
Leave the World Behind. A lot of people have been talking about it.
Yeah, so I was like, man, you know what? We need to watch it. We're not together, but, you know, watch it. And then
movie night here at the studio,
movie night at
bro.
the studio. Bring some popcorn and, you know, hey, bring some chocolate. But yeah, you know, we'll be able to talk about it, you know, because a lot of people are definitely having their opinions on things about, oh man, you know, the world's ending. This is what's happening. This is, is it real? Is it not? So, but man, having a peace of mind means more to me than anything at this point, bro. Like being able to just get up and knowing I can sleep at night with knowing I ain't do nothing to nobody really is just looking over my back. It's just peace of mind is everything right now.
Yeah. Speaking of people. Opinions and whatnot. Just to let you guys know, we are gonna have open invite to have guests. We're not gonna do interviews, so don't come in here thinking we're gonna interview you for your music and shit.
We know you lived in the trap.
You don't have to be an artist. You can be a normal person that ends up watching the show and likes it. If you want to, you know, sit on the couch, it sounds like the fucking porn. If you want to sit on the couch, you know, if you want to pull up and just join the conversation, you know, hit up my boy David, hit up myself. And come join the conversation, you know, just give you guys a quick look. This is the pilot episode to get you an idea of what to expect from the show.
Yes, sir.
We have more topics that we're going to discuss next week, and we'll go into detail. We eventually plan on going live. Again, we're going to change the setup a little bit. I have an idea right now that I'm going to share with David off camera. I just literally popped in my head right now. But again, you know, it's going to switch up. The scene's going to look a little bit different. But we just want to be able to talk about everyday things And any last words, Dave, before we wrap it up?
Nah, man, just continue to make sure y'all support each of our platforms, man. And then also the platform that we have, the Hype HTX on TikTok and on Instagram. And I'm not sure, do we have Facebook yet or no?
No Facebook yet.
Okay, so
coming soon.
It's on Instagram. It's on, make sure you follow and we'll be posting the content, the questions on there. And yeah, man, if you want to get involved, just reach out. Y'all already know, hit the DM, let's lock in. And man, we definitely appreciate the support.
Alrighty, once again, thank you guys for watching. I'm JVaz.
David is TDM.
And you're watching
Hype.
Let's go.